have this fridge with the screen on it.
Oh, yeah.
When somebody hits the doorbell, it automatically pops up on the refrigerator.
Which is helpful because most of the time, Menace is in the kitchen.
Yeah.
The Woody Show.
And we are into another new hour. Insensitivity training for a politically correct world. I'm Woody. That's Greg Gorey.
Yeah, hi, Woody.
Menace.
What is up? Hi.
Gina Grant is right there. Phones are open, 877-44-WOODY. Send us a text over to 22987. Gina Grant's got the trending news headlines.
Well, Tanner Horner, that piece-of-ish delivery driver who admitted to killing that 7-year-old girl, Athena Strand, he's been sentenced to death. He'd already pleaded guilty to capital murder and kidnapping, so the trial focused basically on deciding what to do with him. Prosecutors focused on how serious and violent the crime was, while the defense pointed out this dude's mental health issues, and tough background.
Yeah.
Hoping to avoid...
He might have been abused as a kid or something.
Yeah,
so therefore,
killed
man,
people.
I don't know if it's the picture of this little girl.
Oh, God.
The stories, when I was reading them when the whole case was going on, such graphic detail.
Yeah.
And, man... breaks your heart, makes you sick.
Yeah.
Like the fact that they took more than 30 seconds to determine this guy.
I know, 3 hours?
Like,
Right?
we don't
All
need
right.
to leave, right?
When
All in favor?
It takes reading through the story one time for me to be able to ask you this question and tell me, even if you were at this point opposed to the death penalty, are you still?
How?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
how do you read something like that, see the picture of this little girl and know what he did and then say, I'm not for the death penalty? How?
Yeah.
And how are you
How?
not for it tonight?
Right,
I know.
exactly. Well,
Also,
and they're in a
yeah.
state that moves pretty quick, too.
I would like to be in that room and wonder why it would take 3 hours. Like, what are you even talking about for 3 hours?
But to put it in perspective, like when it's a death penalty case, those, even if it seems cut and dry, those go on for days, sometimes weeks. The fact that they could go, execute him in 3 hours is lightning fast.
Yeah, there's another story. This guy, he's on death row in South Carolina. He's 59 years old, and he was saved by a judge last minute, and they said it's because of mental health stuff. This guy believes he's immortal. Well, let's show them. Let's show him that he's not.
Yeah, prove us
Or,
wrong.
if you're immortal, then it
Yeah,
won't
if you want some
matter.
proof beyond a shadow of a doubt, let's just show you how not immortal you are.
Yeah, check this out, bro.
And how dumb and redundant. If you're on death row, of course you're going to say whatever you want
Yes.
to say
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
sound like a lunatic,
And-
even though you are a lunatic.
And if you've done something that gets you on death row, we know you're crazy.
Yes.
We know you're not mentally
that's
sane.
a given.
But it's to the point where if you have, a lot of people have mental health things,
Yeah.
Right.
But not everybody's going around killing people. I would think that if you're going around doing things that get you on death row, you're kind of beyond the point of help or rehabilitation or anything. Like that's where you're like, ooh, this one's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you put it down like an animal.
Yeah.
We don't need you anymore.
No.
If I'm a judge in the case, the crazier they sound, I'll say, let's push the date up
Yeah,
then.
the less we need you.
We're not gonna-
What's to
oh,
discuss?
We'll spare you because you're that nuts.
But if you say you're immortal, then cool. This shouldn't affect you. what?
You're immortal.
stupid.
Yeah. What does it matter?
Oh, okay, then.
Yeah, okay.
Makes no sense.
And so he doesn't understand what's going on, doesn't understand the case, and doesn't like
He's
well,
about
then he
to
won't get
understand.
being
What is it-
strapped to a table.
he doesn't need to understand.
Yeah.
It's what he did. Like he did it. Whether he understands it or not, the reality is that he did it.
Good point.
Right. He's
And
dangerous.
and what he did ended up on death row. It doesn't matter that he didn't understand. What does that matter?
Yeah, so much care and attention to the murderer,
Yeah.
not the victim.
But
Yeah.
this driver,
Yeah,
this
he's got to
FedEx guy,
go.
dude, you read that story and try to convince me that you're not for the death penalty.
Yeah.
I saw an interview
be
with a
done.
guy on death row. He was going to be executed. This is from a few years ago. And they asked, how do you feel? And he said, well, it's not easy knowing that you're going to be executed and you don't know exactly when. Like, are we
Oh,
supposed
who's
to
that sound like?
Really? That sounds kind of like maybe what your victims
The
might have
person you
said.
killed, exactly. Well, a woman in Spokane, Washington is in the news. She was arrested after she chased this kid down with her car, and the kid was on a bike.
Did you see the video?
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
So my mom lives in that area. She said, dude, there's so many crazy people that lives around town that does stuff like that, where they just like go into people's neighborhoods, like just like driving through yards and stuff.
Good
But
God.
like chasing that kid down. That
What?
video is insane. Yeah, she said this. It's like she can't wait to move. There's
So
like,
what I don't understand in this case, because the video picks up at a certain, I don't know what happened beforehand, right?
What this kid did.
Well, I don't even know if the kid did anything. It's a residential neighborhood. He's
Yeah.
on his bike.
Yeah.
It looks like an e-bike, but he's more like, it looks like your stepson's
Yeah,
age, kind of.
10, 11.
Yeah, somewhere around there. He's got the helmet on and whatever. And so this car's in the street, he's in the street, and this kid's kind of like looking at this car, and she like honks her horn, and so the kid turns around and starts going back the other way, but now he's on the sidewalk. This bitch goes up onto the sidewalk. What is it, like a Corolla or something?
Ford Focus.
A Ford Focus.
Yeah.
Bitch goes up on the sidewalk and is like running him. Now, there are other adults out there who are videotaping this whole thing. Nobody stepped up.
No.
You just decided to like roll video?
Well,
yeah, and
I mean,
she
for
hit
the
the
views,
gas.
man.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
She did.
She eventually got back on the road and just took off, and the kid is okay. But there's, like you said, there's this whole video. So when the cops tracked her down, she's 58, by the way. What's going on?
Yeah, here's
There-
a screenshot.
Yeah.
Look at that. Like,
Of her.
legit
Yeah, yeah,
on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
She initially denied, you guys, she denied drinking or drugs, but eventually admitted she had been
Yeah,
drinking.
what I was trying to
That'll do
say a moment ago is my mom says that the area is just full of trashy people
Well, there you
that
go.
would do stuff like that.
Well,
like
shout
Grandpa
out to everybody listening on Alt 96.1 in Spokane.
Stay safe out
Tell
there.
everybody.
Proud affiliate of The Woody Show.
Yeah.
Heard weekday mornings on Alt 96.1. Shout out Spokane.
And my mom says you're full of trash.
Aw.
At Menace.
Yeah, right.
Do
You
it.
can forward all of your letters to his mom.
Get the word out about the Woody Show.
Stephen Diggs was found not guilty on all charges after being accused of assaulting his former private chef. And the case really came down to credibility. The accuser said Diggs attacked her during an argument last year, but the defense poked a bunch of holes in that. They highlighted inconsistencies, the fact that she waited to report it. They suggested there was a financial motive. And on top of that, there just wasn't much hard evidence. No clear injuries, no witnesses, nothing concrete to back it up. The jury took just over an hour to come back with a full acquittal, which means they didn't think the prosecution proved anything beyond a reasonable doubt. And Delta Airlines is changing its in-flight snack and drink service. So, yeah, listen up if you're used to the luxury.
Well, no. Here's. Go ahead.
Okay.
Explain, and then
So-
I'll tell you why anybody who's complaining about this should just calm down.
Okay,
But go
well,
ahead.
basically, if you're on a short flight, you're just not going to get much. Starting May 19th, flights under 350 miles, basically under an hour, you're not going to have any food or beverages. There's going to be no service for that in the main cabin or the comfort seats. However, if you book that full service and that first class, you might just get a little something. But on the flip side, Delta's actually upgrading service on longer flights. So anything 350 miles or over will now get full snacks and drinks across more seats instead of the limited express service they had going.
Okay, so here's why. I don't want to hear because there's a number of times where it's been a very short flight that either you or whatever's been on, right? And they go, well, they couldn't even serve any drinks.
Yeah, you don't
you know
get
why?
jack.
Because the whole flight's 1 hour. So by the time they take off, get up to 10,000 feet and can even begin, there's not even time to get you one drink. And I will say, are you an adult? It's a really short flight.
Bring a water.
Yeah, bring a water or
Normally,
something
that
like
would be my opinion.
Bring it like if you can't hold your potty until
That I
you
agree
land. They don't really have. There's not enough time. You're not going to be sitting there having a meal or what. So you know what this does? It cuts out all the people who are complaining about. I was on a flight and they didn't even bring around any drinks. So now they're making a policy that says, hey, anything under an hour, we're just not going to serve any drinks.
Or the worst when, like, they got drinks and then they didn't have time for my
Yeah.
drink.
Exactly. It cuts out
And-
all that nonsense
yeah, the
because people
next-
try to make such a big, well, I paid for blah, 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 blah. And this is then what happens. All policies start because something
The
happened, right?
next to do this will be Southwest because I
Correct.
take a regular flight that's short and they're supposed to serve drinks and snacks, but they always have the excuse, oh yeah, it's gonna be a bumpy,
be bumpy.
flight,
Yeah,
so we can't do it.
turbulence.
Well, yeah, because if they're expecting turbulence and it takes X
Yeah.
number of minutes to get from, take off to cruising out 10,000 feet or whatever, cruising altitude before they're allowed to get up and start serving that stuff, and there's then some bumps, they know they're not going to get to everybody.
Right,
Yeah.
but they were, I was recently on a flight, and I support this too, because I was just talking about this, how they claimed turbulence, but there wasn't any. And then the flight home, on the same flight, they were rushing around, barely able to finish the food and drink service for everybody by the end, and I heard the flight attendants say to each other, we should have just skipped it.
Yeah.
And so I'm in support of skipping it as long as everybody knows, like you said, get your water, get your snacks or whatever before you get on the plane because you're not getting any service.
Now,
Fair.
the flip side of that, if it's a flight that is over, now you're getting more than what you used to get.
Because they have all this extra Biscoff cookie stuff.
Yeah.
The one simple solution is go back to how they used to do it. This is my opinion, because when you're paying this money for a flight, you should at least get a can of soda. So they used to come around with the cart and say, what do you want? Diet Coke. Boom, here you go. Now they come down, what would you like to drink?
take
Then
your
they
order.
go back to the galley,
Yeah.
get a cup, put ice, pour it in, just hand over
Yeah,
the can
what's up
right
with
then
that?
and there. They act like serving drinks takes 14 hours. Give me a break. And I need my tomato juice on a flight. That's my superstition.
Right.
It's good for you.
I need it.
That's what you get?
Every flight since I've been probably 20, I order
Tomato juice?
With a
juice.
side of vodka?
No, just tomato juice.
Oh.
Ew.
You're
Gross.
that guy. I always wondered who ordered
love
tomato juice.
Same.
Wow. Okay.
Gross.
Delicious.
Well,
And it keeps you safe on a flight.
Oh, see, I
okay,
didn't
yeah.
realize that.
Okay.
Okay. The presidential fitness test is being brought back after years of getting phased out.
The shuttle run.
Yeah, it started in the 50s.
And those pegboards that you had to
Yes,
climb.
and it's
Yeah.
a really interesting reason it started in the 50s. They realized kids were falling behind on their physical fitness right when the Cold War was brewing. So they needed kids,
To be in shape.
fighting shape. Exactly. Well, the test became the school staple, measured strength, endurance, agility, and the top performers earned awards. That was the best part. So it was later replaced during Obama's era with a program that focused more on overall health and not competition. But now it's returning.
Does anyone anybody feel bad about themselves?
Exactly. But now
But you should.
it's a big push to get kids in shape. But supporters say it builds discipline, but critics think it's overly competitive.
Okay, whatever. So the presidential fitness test was a 1 mile run, sit-ups, push-ups, and then the shuttle run.
What's a shuttle run?
So we used to have the erasers from the blackboards. I'm not sure what they're using now, and it would be like they do like baseline drills, like for basketball. I know, like tennis, different things,
Like
where it's
back
like a lot
and
of
forth?
stop and start stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So you would start at like say the baseline, right, and then they have like some erasers at the free throw line, and you run back to the baseline, and then go back to half court, grab the other eraser, and then run it all the
Oh,
way back.
suicides.
Yeah.
Same type of thing,
Yeah.
right? But that was the shuttle run
Oh, okay.
Okay.
in the presidential fitness test. And then it was pull-ups, push-ups, sit-ups. This one guy, by the way, 22-year-old guy in Virginia, world record in 24 hours, he did 12,412 pull-ups.
Nice.
How?
Couldn't do one.
Does
Yeah.
he not
Pull-ups
have
are
legs?
0.
All right.
I
That's
do negative
into
10.
the previous record. He beat that by 67 pull-ups.
That's insane.
Good God.
I always
Damn.
crushed at sit-ups. I can't
All
do
right.
one pull-up.
For $1,000, other than Vaughn, because I've seen him do it, is the rope climb. Do you think any of us can do the rope climb?
Any
Morgan.
of us? Maybe Sammy.
Morgan could.
Sammy might be able to because she's so light.
She's
Yeah.
light.
I could do it when I was younger. I mean, I crushed at the presidential fitness test.
Oh, really?
I loved
Yeah, okay.
it. So taking it
Okay,
away,
all
well, I
right,
was
now we're
because
getting a little-
you only had to hit certain milestones, right? And I hit them every
I
time.
think you just had to do it. And then they put you
Yeah.
in a percentile.
Yeah, it
didn't
Like you're
matter.
the whatever
Right.
percentile.
Even a mile,
do
it
it.
was like you had to do it in 16 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Like what?
I don't
He'll
think
make
you
it.
had to. You just had to. You had to participate in it.
Yeah.
It's not like if you
Oh, was it?
didn't
Right.
accomplish
Do the
it.
stuff.
Well-
But yeah, you didn't have to.
Yeah.
But they
pull-ups.
did give awards back in
Yeah.
the day. That was the fun
Of
part.
course.
Yeah.
Right. My award shelf was empty.
Competition's
Collecting
good,
dust.
man. In all things, competition in business, competition.
Yeah.
You know, like it pushes you to be better.
Yep. Well, finally, it's being called blue dot fever. It's not medical. It's not political. It's what's happening. And we've talked about this with a lot of concerts right now. So, like the Post Malone Jelly Roll shows we talked about, or Meghan Trainor, Pussycat Dolls. The blue dots are what you see online when you're looking at the Ticketmaster seat
Ah,
maps that show all
that's funny.
the unsold
Blue dot fever.
seats. Yeah. So when a tour
It's like
isn't
what's that called? Brown bottle flu or brown bag flu. Like when people
Oh.
like they're hungover or drunk and they call out of work.
oh,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go, oh, what do you have? You're sick today. Oh, okay. It's the brown bag or brown bottle flu.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when a tour isn't selling well,
funny.
you see all those blue dots, and industry insiders started joking they called the blue dot fever. Now, artists and managers, they blame other things, but everyone knows it's just not selling well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the ticket prices are insane.
Well, I
and people don't have
found this.
money.
Yeah, and I found this interesting article from a website, ticketnews.com, and this is the first two sentences of the story about this. It says things are finally leveling out after the pandemic. I'm paraphrasing. When people leaned hard into funflation, so that's when people are spending big on experience that they'd missed during COVID when they were locked up. So they're overly spending, and for a while it worked. So that means prices went up, VIP options exploded, resale markets went crazy, but now it's all leveling out again. So it might not be that like we're going from 0 to -20. It's that we were overcompensating and now we're
Yeah.
Back
recalibrating.
to where it was.
Yeah, and people are just being more choosy.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's too many shows.
Oh my God.
At any given time, there's 1,000 different things that are happening.
Yeah.
No
And
matter
they're,
where you are.
and they're all
Yeah.
priced high.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's only so much to go around.
Exactly. Well, that's what's going on, Woody.
All right. Thank you very much, Gina Grad.
Got it.
We'll take a quick break. More Woody shows next. Hang on.
The Woody Show.